Hey there, what's up internet? My name is BlackLightAttack. Luck be a lady tonight, and this is episode 51 of Let's Play Final Fantasy VII. So, last time we continued to sort of wrap up endgame here, and I left you guys saying I was going to do some grinding in Battle Square in order to buy the W summon materia, and that opened the option for the special battle. And I think I'm just about ready to go here with Cloud. I'm debating changing his weapon. I am using Ultima Weapon. The downside to Ultima Weapon in Battle Square is that if you lose your ability to heal yourself via the handicaps, either you have your magic removed, your enemy skill removed, both of those removed actually, and your items removed, all three are removed, your weapon becomes your only defense. And when you're really low on HP, Ultima Weapon does next to no damage. And actually, I lost one Battle Square because of that, because sometimes the reels are just unfair, and all three things on the handicap reel will be the same, meaning you have no choice but to accept whatever handicap it gives you. And if that happens the first time, all 7 reels will be like that. So, it's kind of messed up. Anyway, so we're going to try the special battle. I think I'm going to stick around with the Ultima Weapon, and if it becomes an issue, I'll switch. But there is a little bit of dialogue. This lady at the counter, after you buy the 2 most expensive items in Battle Square, Omni Slash and the W Summon materia, she'll be like, hey, you're pretty strong, you should try the special battle. So that's what we're gonna do. It's really not that difficult if I remember correctly, but we'll see. So it's kind of funny. We start off with this guy who's actually normally I think he's either the last or second to last enemy in some of the rounds, but he's not too threatening in my opinion. We've got a lot of damage on Cloud right now, a lot of damage. So with him being at basically full health, he's going to be doing basically 9,999 with every death blow, and he's got an added cut on that death blow, so every time he uses it, he's also going to deal some serious damage. So I don't know if I want to take the level down or the HP half. I feel like level down is probably the less detrimental. I'm going to be doing a little bit less damage probably, but I'll still be doing the clean 9,999 on death blow. Maybe not against Ochu, because Ochu has pretty high defense. Oh no, still a clean 10k more or less. I think I want to take half MP here, because the only thing I really have to spend MP on is enemy skills and a Bahamut summon that I basically have just in case. These guys can be threatening. These are from the Sunken Gelnica, but they're really not too bad when you have a ribbon on, because their main thing is the status effect. They do the Creepy Touch, and then you get Sadness on you. And they use Creepy Touch as a counterattack, actually, which is why he just did it twice in a row. But that's really not a big deal to me, because I have ribbon on. And on top of that, the Mistile that I have equipped is going to cause Cloud to dodge almost every attack this thing throws at me. Mistile, one of the reasons is, aside from the fact that the dodge percent glitch is so good, aside from the dodge percent glitch making you nearly completely accurate, the reason it's so good aside from that is because its dodge chance is crazy. So you have like a pretty high, I think based on the armor, it's like a 50 or 60% chance to dodge all attacks that come your way, plus whatever other modifiers you have, like, you know, that come with your level and with any materia you might have on, things like that. But this should be, ooh, somebody's cooking something. I never actually smell other people's food ever in my apartment complex, but this time, for some reason, I can smell whatever my neighbors are cooking, and it smells delicious. Oh man, I do sometimes when I come home. My neighbors across the way in my apartment complex are a Hispanic family, and they are always cooking the best smelling like Mexican food, like homemade Mexican food. It always smells like, you know, tacos and beans and stuff. It smells so good. And I don't know if that's what I'm smelling. It always smells like ground beef and stuff. Oh, I don't know what I want here. Probably 0 MP, because I think I'm kind of past the point where using magic spells is going to be useful to me, so I'll take 0 MP. I feel like I probably won't need it. What was I saying? So if I come home around dinner time, they're always cooking with their windows open, and I smell it coming by. I'm like, oh my god, yes, so good. It always seems to be Mexican food with them, and I'm so glad that that's the case, because the smells are orgasmic. So, funny enough, I don't really need to be aiming for any sort of, like, specific handicaps. I mentioned, if you watch the Battle Square tutorial video, I mentioned that which handicaps you get will actually affect how much BP you get, but I actually don't care about BP right now because you get the reward for the special battle just by doing it. Oh, so I was trying to remember what the just by completing it. I mean, I was trying to remember what the reward was for getting or for destroying the Jammer armor, whichever that's supposed to be on Proud Claude. And by the way, yes, Proud Claude is the boss of this. So you actually fight a boss solo as the final fight in Battle Square. And what it is if you defeat the Jammer armor, you get extra XP and AP from the fight because it counts as having defeated another enemy. But the other thing is if you leave it alive, it'll eventually start casting Reflect on your party, which stops you from using single target heals and will instead bounce heals off of the intended party member or any other spell that targets a party member, and instead hitting Proud Claude, so you can end up healing him. So that's what it was. I actually looked on the wiki because I ended up killing the Jammer armor before it actually did anything. Here I'm gonna ignore Jammer armor and just go straight for Proud Claude and just hit him with some strong death blow added cut attacks, because honestly it's not even worth bothering with anything else. I could be using Slash All as well. I have Death Blow added cut for single targets, and then I have Slash All for like groups, but there's no point in destroying focusing any of my attention on Jammer armor. It really actually isn't going to do much. So got the counter attacks in addition, which is adding some extra damage. I don't know how much more health he has, and I'm a little worried just because of the fact that I have no MP, so I can't like I can't recast Big Guard, and I can't heal myself with White Wind. But if I start getting low, like past half health, which is what I'm at right now, I can always just start using, oh, he just dies, apparently. I was about to say I could always just start using like X potions because I didn't have my items disabled, but that should be the final battle. That's, I think you only get to do this once. I think you can retry it if you fail it, but there you go. For winning the special battle, receive final attack materia. So, this materia, very interesting. Very rarely do you get like a super powerful support materia. We have a couple of them, but usually for the most part, they're not all that good. It's not that they're not good, it's just that like the legendary materias, like the really powerful, like Ultima is like an amazing magic materia, and like Knights of the Round and Bahamut are all really powerful summon materias, but you never see really powerful, what's it called? Support materia. This is one of them. This is actually a very amazing piece of support materia. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted here. Not really. We'll take a preemptive materia just for the hell of it, but I ended up buying an enemy lore materia because I'm going to be definitely doing some grinding coming up shortly here. I think I'm going to do, like I said before, the Dazer strategy on Ruby Weapon, and then for Emerald Weapon, I'm thinking I'm probably going to do the All Lucky 7s and level 3 limit breaks strategy. And I'll get into what those mean exactly when we actually get to them, but I think this is going to be... Oh, no, I'm not going to pay GP here. I think that's going to end up being, like... That's going to end up being... What was it? Fuck, what was I saying? Sorry. I will end up describing those at a later date. I'm sorry, I am just... Ugh, I'm a mess. I'm a mess. Apologies. I keep losing my train of thought in the middle of my sentence. I'm like mentally preparing for like what am I gonna do next? I don't know. I'm like trying to figure out what exactly my next order of business is. But at the same time, I'm trying to like speak sentences out of my mouth hole, and it's all falling apart. It's all just coming apart here. I apologize. Anyway, let's keep going. I think, well, yeah, I'm probably gonna head to the Northern Crater. I'm probably right now I'm just kind of running through my head. Is there anything? Oh, okay, you know what? Oh, while we're in there, we can get our third ribbon. I just remembered. And I'm also gonna have to, I guess, equip... You know, I'll put Barrett back in my party because I still want to show you guys Barrett's final limit breaks, but I really need to redo pretty much my entire team because I want Sid back so I can keep getting his limit breaks and keep Barrett. And then Cloud has basically like all of the good materia right now because of Battle Square, so I'm gonna have to take care of that. All right, I'm gonna set up my party. Be right back. Okay, all right, so bunch of materia equipped, and we're headed off to the Northern Cave. Like I said, I was trying to think of if there was anything else I should be doing first. And I kind of want to... You know what? Before I do anything else, the first thing I'm going to do, before I do anything else, I'm going to go to Cactuar Island. And I think I mentioned as we passed by it once, Cactuar Island, which is almost directly south of Cosmo Canyon and is not listed on a map. Home to Cactuars, and they are pretty difficult to kill. They have an incredibly high dodge chance, and they run away from battles and stuff. They're a pain in the ass to kill. What I'm going to do real quick is bring out the old Yuffie here, who I apparently haven't used at all because she's wearing like an iron bangle, and I think her default... Friggin', I don't have a Tetra Elemental, right? Because if so, this is completely pointless. Okay. Put a Morph Materia on her. Okay, let's go. They're a pain in the ass to kill. They're a pain in the ass to hit. But with a Mistile, which I almost forgot to grab off of Barret, shouldn't really be a problem, right? So let's go ahead. I need something 6 just to not mess up Barret's, what's it called? Materia configuration. So I am thinking about the Ruby weapon and Emerald weapon strategies, and they're fun fights just because the mechanics are actually difficult. Like, there are rules that each of them have, like they'll counterattack certain things with other things, and it can be hard. It can actually be really hard, and they will absolutely completely fuck up your party whenever you give them the opportunity to. And I don't know, one of the most fun things is... Oh, actually missed. Okay. 1,000 needles, you bitch. Try that again. Hit him. Come on, Yuffie, I believe in you. Come on. I know I haven't used you in forever, but don't be mad. Don't be shitty. Come on. So, Emerald Weapon has an ability called Air Tam Storm, and Air Tam is actually materia spelled backwards and then separated into 2 words. And what it does is it deals 1,111 damage to, I think it's a single character, or no, maybe it's to all characters, for each materia they have equipped. So it'll do 0 if you have no materia equipped, and if you have 9 or more materia equipped, you instantly die no matter how much HP you have. So, obviously it's pretty difficult, right? But there's actually something you can do to, I mean, that's not the only thing that makes them hard. There's a lot more to that fight than just Air Tam Storm, but, if, do I not have a heal on? I guess I'll just White Wind it. If you have 9,999 HP, and you only have 2 materia equipped, Air Tam Storm will automatically bring you down to 7,777 life, right? Because it'll deal 2,222. There's a mechanic in this game, and I think I've talked about this before, but just in case I haven't, if a character at any one point has 7,777 HP, you'll get all lucky 7s, which will cause that character to go berserk and attack for 7,777 damage. I think it's like 64 times in a row or something like that, which is a lot. That's a lot of damage. Funny enough, it's not enough damage to kill Emerald Weapon. That's how much HP he has. And that's neither here nor there, but that's free damage. It can only occur once during a battle, but that's basically a way to guarantee that you're just going to get like a shitload of damage on him at one point. So I think I will probably be doing that as part of my strategy, as well as there's another strategy to put Fury on all of your characters and then spam him with limit breaks, because I think he counterattacks like pretty much any source of damage with a really heavily damaging physical attack that hits the whole party. And I don't want to deal with that, obviously, so the things that are an exception to his counterattack are limit breaks, and I think Bahamut summons. So you can use the Bahamut summons, and obviously you want to use AoE attacks against him, and the reason that's... Well, it's obvious if you fought him before. The reason you want to use AoE attacks against him is because, in addition to the weapon himself, he also has a bunch of eyes on his shoulders that count as separate entities. And Emerald Weapon himself follows a pretty set pattern of, you know, dishing out a lot of damage to the party, but then his eyes also attack, and they deal a shitload of damage, so you really want to, like, kill the eyes as soon as possible. The problem is, he tends to counterattack you. Oh, it's if you hit his body with anything other than limb break. So if you use an AoE attack, then it'll, you know, if you use an AoE attack to hit his, like, I think he has 6 eyes or 8 eyes or something. They're all, like, in his shoulders for some reason, because he's a fucking weird monster thing. If you use an AoE attack, it'll also hit his body, and then he'll counterattack, and then, you know, you're gonna be taking some damage. However, if you use only limit breaks, if you use level 3 limit breaks with Fury, you know, so that they're building quicker, and you are killing his eyes that way, he won't counterattack, and in addition, when all of his eyes are dead, he actually will not counterattack at all. So, okay, so this is how you get back up. I know that Cloud was like, oh, he's like, all right, do we want to go? And you can either say, yeah, let's go, or I want to get prepared. And that when I was a kid, that always implied to me that once you enter this area, you can't come back, but you totally can. So out of this chest, we picked up the save crystal. That is a one-time use item that creates a save point at any part of the game, and it's actually very important here because there are no save points in this entire area. But let's see, does this guy have an enemy skill? He apparently has something for me to steal. Actually, I shouldn't have done that because I'm going to try to manipulate. Ooh, Barrett's got a limit break. I think I haven't showed you guys Unger Max yet. I think that's what it is. Okay, I can manipulate him, but it failed that time. Couldn't steal anything. All right. And then whenever we do end up stealing something, I feel like this guy has, I think it's Dragon Force, which, yes, is indeed a fucking metal band that can't play their own music live. Dragon Armlet, okay, that's pretty cool. And then I think this guy teaches Dragon Force, which I think like raises your stats. It's an enemy skill, is what I'm trying to say. I think it's like a buff of some kind. I forget. Let's see. Manipulate, please. If I need to equip a fucking Hypno Crown, I will, Cloud. Don't make me do it. I don't want to do that. Also, Barrett's taking a fucking lot of damage here. White winded up. Because Barrett has cover material on, so he's taking all the shots. Let's go. Yes, okay, got him. Only took me like 12 tries. Yep, Dragon Force, I was right. Okay, so we'll just cast this on each of our party members. And then we'll kill him with probably Unger Max. I think I've shown you guys Satellite Beam. And if not, I'll show you guys Satellite Beam just in case. And then we'll show you Unger Max. Unger Max is actually like the most boring limit break. It's really good though. Funny enough, there are the 3 most powerful limit breaks in the game, in terms of just sheer damage output, especially on single targets, are Omni Slash, which is Cloud's ultimate limit break, High Wind, which is Sid's final limit break, and funny enough, Dragon Force, which, sorry, not Dragon Force, well, Unger Max, which is Barrett's final limit break. Wait, is that all 3? Let's see, do we have, okay, you have Dragon Force, Sid has Dragon Force, and then I'm pretty sure Cloud has Dragon Force as well, but we're gonna have to find out in a second. Yes, okay, we all got Dragon Force. Very cool. And then Unger Max, which sounds weird because Unger Max is not Barrett's final limit break. It is his second to last limit break. The funny part about it is you'll see how Catastrophe works when I learn it, or when I switch to it. But it's not. It's weird. The way it deals damage is just like not consistent. I feel like. I forget what's up with these guys. I think they come to life. Obviously, all the enemies in this area are pretty difficult. Let's just go ahead and Satellite Beam. This is a limit break that, let me stutter a little bit more. This is a limit break that does its best work on groups of enemies because it's just a one hit. I don't know how the hell Barrett has a satellite that he can command, but it's pretty cool. Oh, level 4 death is a limit break, I think. Or, not a limit break, an enemy skill. No, it's not. Okay, I'm probably thinking level 4 suicide or level 6 suicide. I forget what it's called. But something leveled up and something was mastered, actually. What did we just master? We can take a crappy materia off of Sid now. Poison. Okay, poison's actually a pretty good materia, but we don't need any more of those. Transform, I think, is on Cloud. No, actually. No, it's not. Oh, Transform's already on Sid. Never mind. Mystify, rather. I'm just kind of trying to level up all of my materia so I can get some masters. And, oh, another thing that we're going to use for Emerald Weapon is... Oh, I mentioned the Final Cut materia. Or, not the Final Cut. Final Attack materia. So, Final Attack materia, the reason it's so good... Ooh, these guys definitely have an enemy skill. I cannot keep a train of thought going here. The reason the Final Attack materia is so powerful, what it does is it's a support materia. You junction it to another materia, and that will make it so that whatever materia... Oh, they teach magic breath. And I think level 5 death is possibly an enemy skill as well. Let's find out. I already have magic breath on most characters. Let's go ahead and big guard, because this is gonna hurt. And then we'll use magic breath just to get magic breath on all of the materia that we can. So whatever materia is paired with final attack is going to be the last thing that character does when they die. So when they die, it'll automatically trigger a response. So I don't know if this is going to kill anyone. I don't know what everybody's levels are right now. Okay, cool. Didn't affect anyone, and we all learned level 5 death. Very cool. I think this is your first opportunity to learn level 5 death, if I'm not mistaken. Or are there those guys in Coral Prison? Do they teach it? I don't remember. Anyway, so the obvious application is to take the final attack materia and put like life or put revive attached to it, and that way that character will revive themselves instantly on death. And the final attack materia is limited in that whatever level it is, it goes up to level 5. Whatever level it is, that is the most. That is the most amount of times it can be used in a fight. So if it's level 1, you only get one final attack, and then if you die again, you're dead. You're not going to be able to cast anything. So it's not like it makes a character invincible. Additionally, if you have if you're casting like a summon that's attached to it, you can only cast that summon as many times as the summon allows, and the summons work the same way. You know, up to whatever level it is, that's how many times you can cast it in a battle. Now, there is a summon that does revive you as well. If you guys remember, we got the Phoenix materia, and the Phoenix is AoE fire damage in addition to reviving your entire party. So one of the strategies for Emerald Weapon, you can use this on Ruby Weapon as well, although Phoenix does heal Ruby Weapon because Ruby Weapon absorbs fire. You put Final Attack Phoenix onto a character, and then whenever they die, anybody else who is dead will immediately be revived, in addition to the character that died in the first place. So that is obviously a really valuable thing to have while you are fighting these super difficult bosses, and in order to really get our money's worth out of that, in order to make that really effective, what we're gonna have to do is grind up the final attack materia as well as the Phoenix materia, and get them up to level 5 each, so that we can use that 5 times. So, all right. So here's, I think, just like really a bunch of sources. There's a lot of items up in here, but I kind of like the music here. It's like, it feels like it's pumping you up. I don't know. It feels like the slow, solemn march to your death, which is basically what's happening right now. I feel like at this point in the game, every character doesn't really expect to live through these events, which I kind of like. I think that's like really dark and interesting. But at the same time, it kind of has like the music in this area specifically kind of at the same time has this sort of like air of hope to it, which is also what the characters are probably feeling right now. So I'm actually using a different weapon on Cloud right now. I'm not using either Ragnarok nor Ultima weapon. I'm actually using, I think this thing is called Apocalypse. It's a triple materia growth weapon, and that's just to level up both my final attack and my Phoenix materia, plus one other thing, I forget, but he's basically just, filling the same role as Sid is right now, where he's just toting materia around and leveling it up for me, which I tend to do a lot. Like, this is totally not necessary to like beat the game. For beating Ruby and Emerald Weapon, okay, maybe this might actually be fairly necessary, but for beating Sephiroth, like, you really don't need to. You can beat Sephiroth at like level 30. People who do it in speedruns, they beat him at level 30 pretty frequently. He's not very difficult. But this is a cool area. It's honestly filled with some pretty difficult enemies. None of them right now are doing too much. We did take a decent amount of damage from that one guy that used magic breath, which I did to myself, and luckily I was barriered. If I hadn't been barriered, I would have taken a shitload of damage. But there are some pretty powerful enemies here, and a lot of them have like pretty much like instant death moves and stuff like that. There's one enemy skill that's actually a huge pain in the ass to learn. I think it's called Roulette. And I think the enemies that teach it are only found here. And basically it just spins a wheel and then kills an enemy. Or I'm sorry, kills a member of the battle. So among all of the people who are fighting right now, which would be your 3 party members plus whatever enemies are in the other team. It just randomly selects one of them and then kills them. And so in order to learn that, you actually have to die to get that enemy skill. And then it's like, I honestly learn it just for the sake of completion. There's no point in time this late in the game that you're gonna find an enemy that's actually susceptible to instant death that you're gonna want to use this on, that would actually be worth risking killing one of your teammates in order to kill it instantly. You know what I mean? Like, there's no real application for it. Like, maybe there might be some like fringe cases here or there where this fucking enemy skill would have been worth it earlier in the game, but at this point, no. There's nothing you're gonna find that will actually need that. That's like, you get a whole bunch of these like really powerful spells that have like very limited applications, but you get them right at the end of the game when you're not really gonna find any use case for that. And like, that's definitely, in my opinion, a case of like kind of poor game design. But at the same time, like, you already have plenty of tools at your disposal that you can use to beat the game anyway, and really it's all for fun. It's just kind of like, let's just throw a couple more things in here that are just kind of goofy, whatever. Like, let's just give the player more options, even if not all of them are actually viable, you know what I mean? And that's kind of like, I like games that do that. I don't like it when games like kind of decide, well, we're just gonna, rather than kind of give the player a ton of options to play with and like, you know, just here's a whole bunch of toys and some of the toys are better than others, but just play with them all anyway. We gave you a bunch, so even if you get bored of using the best toy, you can switch to a shittier but different toy, right? But then a lot of games, these, especially games in more modern game design, and like one that really comes to mind is World of Warcraft, when you kind of have like redundant tools at your disposal, redundant spells or items or whatever, they start removing them. They're kind of like, no, I don't feel like players are ever actually going to use this, so we're just going to get rid of them entirely. And I don't really agree with that. I mean, I feel like having a little bit of redundancy isn't always the worst. I mean, World of Warcraft is kind of different because people min-max that game so hard, so I guess there's a decent argument there. Are these the guys that teach roulette? I think these guys do teach something. I'm going to try to kill one of them and then manipulate the other. Bam! Oh, never mind. Barrett's gonna fuck that dude up. I personally think that this game does a good job of giving you just like a bunch of toys to play with. Like, yeah, those other one, or those late game spells are really not gonna serve any purpose for you, but do they really hurt anyone being there? Personally, I like collecting them just for collector's sake. You know what I mean? I really don't have a problem with them personally. But a lot of these areas in this cave are kind of confusing, and I don't know if I can get back up here. I feel like I can. I feel like there was like a button input that I could have used. So now we're actually really far in, and oh, there it is. Okay, button to jump. All right, got it. So I'm basically gonna like hop back up here, collect all the treasure chests. And so if you saw, I was only on that screen for like a split second, but there's a screen right there where your entire party is waiting for you. And I'm gonna actually have to look up a guide real quick, because I can never remember what exactly it all is, but there are different ways that you split your group. There are 2 paths, and they ask you, all right, am I going left or right? And you split up your group. And then that determines who you're able to take with you in your party down the path you've chosen. And you can double back and clear the other side of the path as well, which is all well and good. But it also determines what exactly items those characters are going to find along the way. It's kind of weird. So like while you're separated from your party members, the ones that you send opposite directions from you will meet up with you at the end of the game, and they'll have found items. And Tifa actually finds a misstyle, and I forget exactly how you're supposed to do that. So that's how you get the second misstyle, and I can't remember if there's a way to get 3 misstyles. I feel like there is. I feel like maybe you find one in the northern crater, and then you also get one from Tifa, which is optional, and then there's the one that you get right before Proud Claude, right? I think that's what it is. And I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to think back to my speedrun strats, because I do recall that. Oh, I really need to get Barrett off of sadness. The only reason Barrett's still my limit, or in my party rather, is because I want to use limit breaks. I'm trying to think back to the speedrun strategies, because if I recall, in a speedrun you end the game with 2 mistyles, but in a speedrun you also do a glitch that allows you to skip going back to Midgar. So that whole sequence with like Hojo and everything and Proud Claude is actually not in the game in a speedrun. So I think that's why you don't get 3. And obviously having 3 is quite desirable because the mistyle is just so damn good. So let's go ahead and drop down to... Where is it? Well, okay, so we hit OK to jump there, and then okay, and this is how you get this last item. Cool. So these are kind of annoying little areas here, but there's often just really, really, really good items here, so it's always worth it, in my opinion, to go out of your way to get them all. Gotta catch them all, yeah. So let's see, what's this last guy? Mega Elixir, nice. Mega Elixir is, I think I mentioned this before, but a Mega Elixir is a super elixir. Elixir fully restores your HP and MP. Mega Elixir does that to all 3 of your characters, and it can be used in battle. So it's like a tent that you can use in battle, which is obviously quite valuable. I'm saving all my MP for the most part right now. I feel like there's no reason to do anything but like physical attacks, because my party's already doing a fair amount of damage. My party will be doing a lot more damage once we stop worrying about materia growth and we start equipping our final weapons. When I was a kid, I feel like I didn't really understand that final weapons didn't have materia growth, and I never noticed that my materia had like stopped growing, because like it always felt like it was a long ass time waiting for materia to level up anyway, and I guess I just didn't notice that it plain wasn't doing it. Shit, did I go the wrong way? I think I have to go all the way back. Or can I drop down here? Damn it. Alright, well, I'm just going to sign this episode off. But anyway, as soon as I got my ultimate weapons, I'd always switch to them. So I'd always be dealing a lot more damage than I'm dealing now. But I also wouldn't be growing my materia at all. But anyway, guys, enough about game mechanics, which is like, seems like that's all I talk about in this franchise, or in this series. But I like this game a lot. You can't tell. Anyway, guys, that will do it for episode 51. Thank you so much for watching. I will catch you guys next time when we're going to descend further into the final area, which is called Inside Northern Cave. It is Northern Cave, couldn't remember. But we will descend further. We're going to get right up until the end, right before the final sequence, and then we're just going to double back and come back out so that we can kill the final 2 weapons. But see you guys there. Goodbye.